You're telling me a back three of Marrero, Camacho, and Upton and or Triberca cannot hold Club America. The only reason
they got the Chiefs refs.
And he's their current captain. He's been their captain since 2021 with his like 5th Stanley Cup club.
Welcome back to the Enemies of the Fire podcast. This week we have a trio of finals, a special guest, and we learned something. Anyway, this is Connor. This is James. That is DPG. I am FC Neo Tokyo. We're all here somewhere. Gentlemen, how are we doing this week? What is up?
Doing great. Welcome to the show, Connor.
Yes, special guest Connor. Connor knows soccer. He is here to help us because the first of the 3 finals tomorrow that we're going to talk about, and in chronological order, is Campeones Cup, which I forgot was a thing until Connor told me yesterday.
Apparently, there's a trilogy of games tomorrow. I'm just finding out about this as well.
Soccer Wednesday, buddy.
Yeah, if soccer was it, dude, which makes me so mad because I've tried to talk about the US Open Cup all season, and you guys have been basically like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Anyway,
what shocked me was hearing that on the same day, Campeones Cup and US Open Cup are deciding to play, and I was like, oh, that sounds insulting. However, we did a little more digging. They offset the times. They offset the times by at least 3 hours from each other's kickoff. So it's really like a soccer doubleheader for America.
Well, it's weird. So again, Connor is here because he is the foremost authority on the Columbus Crew
and the Campeones Cup.
They are in Campeones.
He's probably the only Columbus Crew fan out in North Carolina. So,
well, that's a more recent development.
Oh, there's actually a fan group in Charlotte called the Mecklenburg Massive.
What?
So yeah, there's a decent amount of people in Charlotte.
There's a crew fan club in Charlotte, in the heart of Charlotte FC territory.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
There's one in Charlotte, Colorado. I think there's one in Chicago.
Man, people do love that spaghetti, the chili spaghetti.
What was the question?
No, we're talking about the Campeones Cup, and everybody, before you lose your cool, that's the winner of. So, Connor, what was so Mexico has the Clausura and Apertura. The winner of that, those play each other.
Wait, the Clausura and the Apertura. Oh, let's talk about that later.
So we'll talk about that later. So the winner of that plays the MLS Cup champion.
Yep.
So in theory, this is CONCACAF's highlight game. Now, before we get in the nitty gritty, because I know Connor lives in the nitty gritty, do we agree? Is this the crown jewel game of CONCACAF right now? Are these the 2 best CONCACAF teams?
Man, this is a money grabber, bro. This is a money grabber. What best?
DPG, you're telling me that a Columbus is a money grab? Putting a Columbus in over NYCFC, over LAFC, over Inter Miami.
Who are they facing?
That's the money grab. They put Middle America.
Who are they facing?
They're playing Club
the
America.
Best team from Mexico last season.
They're playing the most famous team from Mexico.
Who do you think? Who's the money grabber in that? With those 2 teams.
Listen, you can't control who wins these games, despite what people think. So
look, man.
So Connor, where is this game? Is it in Ohio or is it in Mexico?
It's in Columbus. So the Campeones Cup started in 2018, and so far has been hosted in the MLS Cup Winners Stadium. So it started in Atlanta, then 2019. Okay.
Who won in 2019?
2018, 19, 2020 was canceled. 21, 22, 23. No.
But you know what this means, right? You know what this means, though, right? It's like that Crew Stadium. Like 80% of the fans are going to be America fans, and maybe a 20%.
Well, what do you think about that, Connor? You're from Columbus. Will the Crew fans be outnumbered by Club America fans? Because we do know they draw well in the States.
I don't know. Last time we played them was last year in the group stage of the League's Cup. And I say it was split 50-50 down the middle. I didn't go to the game, but from what I heard, there was a good number of Club America fans. And apparently they traveled well.
I mean, the thing is that this is a Campeones final. So for all we know, Club America is going to advertise the crap out of it to try to pack up the stadiums, So, I mean, hey, don't be surprised. I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
I don't know what we're gonna see. I kind of think Connor might be right, because despite our natural aggression towards Columbus as Chicago fans, they do draw rather well. The Massive is a little massive.
They're strong at home.
They are strong.
They draw. They draw when they play friendlies at Soldier Field. So, that's
true. Club America they draw anywhere they go.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is a Wednesday night though. It's not Saturday.
It's a Wednesday night in Columbus. That's got to be the equivalent of a Wednesday night in Stoke.
That's yeah.
In a wet Tuesday night in Stoke, can he do it, baby?
We did get rain. We did get rain earlier, so it's heading that way.
Connor, what do we got to expect for this game, though? Or do we think do either team really have this game already solved?
I don't know. From what I'm hearing on the Crew side, Cucho said in the pregame presser earlier today that he is 100% fit and ready to play a full 90 tomorrow.
Okay.
Because the last couple of games he came on as a super sub, and I from what I'm hearing, you can more than likely expect the usual suspects out there starting the game for Wilfred Nancy tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nagbe,
can I ask,
etc.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask a quick question? Has the loss of Aiden Morris been felt, or no?
No. From time to time.
That's coaching.
From time to time, yes.
That's coaching.
But because you lose that partnership of Nagbe and Morris, who played side by side another for years. And when you take a key piece out and I love Sean Zawatsky, but when you put him in as the midfielder right next to Nagbe, I thought he was going to take a while with Zawatsky playing in that midfield, but next to Darlington Nagbe. But it's Darlington Nagbe. He's playing right beside the best defensive midfielder that this league has ever seen.
I mean, Nagbe could make me look good in the midfield. Let's be honest, man.
The MLS N'Golo Kante?
Yes.
One thing I want to point out, though, chances are this game is going to be physical as hell. It's going to get really physical. It always is when a Liga MX team, comes to town. So
but are they going to get away with it? This is probably going to be done by a pro ref. This is done by pro, right? Or is this?
Or they're going to grab? So yeah.
I think I don't know. They used a mix of CONCACAF and
because if it's a CONCACAF ref.
They used a mix of CONCACAF and pro during the Champions Cup run. But it wouldn't surprise me if they use one or another.
Interesting.
If it's a CONCACAF ref, a lot of calls are not going to get called.
I watched our Champions Cup run against Mexican teams. I know how that feels.
So someone's going to get the house cleaned out, and then the ref's just going to look at them, tell them, "Hey, get up." So
okay. So I'm looking at Club America's roster. So we looked before. This is the most research I think we've ever done before in a show. So Columbus, we all know they're in. Hold on, where are they? They're in third in the East, and they're a very solid MLS team, top crust. Now, Club America again was the best team in Mexico last season. They're in 10th currently in what I would call the first third of the new Clausura, right? Because they're 9 games deep, And I'm looking at this roster, and honestly, I only even recognize 3 people. There's a cat who used to play for LAFC, Brian Rodriguez, U.S. men's national team
Omar?
player, Alejandro Zendejas, and then you
Yeah.
have Jonathan Dos Santos. So I don't know if any of them play, but those are the only 3 guys I know. So I don't really know anything about Club America.
So I actually have, because I come prepared. I have their starting
Shots
lineup.
He's scouting the enemy. That's all it is.
I have their starting lineup from their 1-1 draw Saturday versus that Mexicana, and their starters were Balogun in goal, a back four of Calderon, Araujo, Juarez, Del Castillo, Espinoza, Acosta, Dos Santos, Sanchez, Rodriguez, Valadez, Zendejas, and Martin.
Okay, so Zendejas played.
Mm-hmm. And from my digging, that is usually the starting 11 they go with in league play, game in and game out, with little rotation in between.
It's going to be the game that Club America is going to get it right. I mean, is this the game that's going to like right the ship? You know, they might use this as like the catalyst for a good season.
Well,
I mean,
as a Crew fan, do you want to see a strong lineup, or would you rather them just focus on MLS Cup at this point?
Give me a strong lineup. You know, if we
is it worth risking Cucho against a very physical America team?
Especially if you're trying to win MLS. What's more important?
There you go.
I mean, but here's the thing, DPG. There's a trophy on the line here. They don't know if the trophy's going to be there on the line at the end of the season. You got to go for the one that's there.
You always go for silverware, baby.
You got to go.
Our second one. This would be our second one this year.
So the worst thing that could happen to Columbus, is that they sent out the full roster out there. Freaking Cucho Hernandez takes a sliding tackle from the side. He's out for like 3 or 4 months.
Dude,
that
could totally happen.
Why play the game if you're just gonna rest people because you're worried about shit? Play the game and win the trophy, right?
Hey man, how many U.S. versus Mexico games have you seen that they have not gotten physical?
And this is essentially a U.S. versus Mexico game.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I don't know who coaches Club America, because do we believe Wilfred Nancy is gonna outcoach whoever that is or not?
Hold on. Now I gotta check. Now I want to see this too. Who's coaching it?
Andre Jardine.
Yeah, Andre Jardine.
I don't know him.
Brazilian football manager. He's actually been pretty deep involved.
Oh, he's been around the block, man.
No, he's actually coached Sao Paulo a lot.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, these were all assistant and caretaker. Yeah, you're right.
And then he's coached Brazil U20 and U23.
And then San Luis in Argentina. Okay. Those aren't easy jobs.
He won gold with Brazil in the Olympics in 2020.
Dang, man. That's a little scary, but it looks like he's on the rise, really.
So
as
Wilfred Nancy won any gold medals at the Olympics? That we don't know yet.
Wilfred Nancy does have some titles to his name, though. I mean,
so all I'm saying is this: is that by all means, you know, I would like to see Columbus squad and try to get a trophy, but at the end of the day. And at the end of, you know, let's hope there's no casualties involved, because if there is, there goes your season. That's it. Nobody remembers who won Campeones. You know, nobody's gonna remember.
Yeah, if you're the fan base that wins it, you're sure.
Yeah, but go tell that to the LAFC fans. Hey, we're Campeones champions. They're gonna laugh at you. All right.
You don't remember that Rocky Mountain?
They're gonna laugh because they lost on penalties to Tigres last year.
Yeah, I mean, oof.
That's brutal to lose on penalties.
But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Like, nobody's gonna remember Campeones winners. A lot of people tend to remember who won the MLS Cup. Just saying.
Who's won the Campeones Cup?
See, that's the problem. I think if you beat a Mexican team though, as an MLS squad, I think people take notice though.
it's bragging rights for a little.
Still. So, do we have predictions? Should we let Connor? Would you like to go first, or would you like us uninformed to go first?
I'm gonna try to add to the point. So our strongest squad this season, without rotation, would be Schulte, Morera, Camacho, Center Treberco. Center Treberco can slot into that right center back spot. Farsi, Zawadzki, Nagbe, Arston, Ramirez, Rossi, Cucho.
Wait, I'm going to stop you right there, Connor, because for 1 second, we got to recognize the fact that Columbus Crew has already won the Campeones Cup in 2021.
And so nobody remembers that.
Nobody remembers.
Connor said it earlier. I think.
Other winners: Atlanta United, UANL.
Great.
On 2020, was it forfeited because it just says Seattle Sounders, and then there's like no Liga MX team. It's just like a dash.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think Liga MX played that season.
It was planned. Something happened. I'm gonna look it up.
What
Columbus
do you mean
Crew,
something happened?
2021, 2022 was New York City.
2020 something happened. I'm gonna have to look that up.
UANL won again in 2023, 5 years later. It was canceled due to COVID.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't get the vaccines.
Connor,
what happened in 2020? My sophomore year of high school.
I don't
know. Maybe
Wait,
the
what
biggest
happened in
pandemic the world
2020?
has ever seen since 1919.
Jaymes, were you concerned about my divorce? Is that what you were thinking happened?
Oh man, that's a long time ago.
The biggest pandemic
Bring
since
the
1919. It's fine.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. Okay, Connor, you got a score for us on this?
3-1.
3-1. This is a confident man.
I like that score. I like that score a lot.
Nah, it's got to be 3-2. You're not going to get out of there unscathed.
The only front man that scares me with this Club America team is Martin up top. Henry Martin.
Obafemi?
He's a regular.
Obafemi?
He's a regular for the national. No, Henry Martin. He's a regular for the Mexican national team.
Does he score goals? Right. Is he dangerous?
I mean, he is dangerous.
All the goals he's had, according to ESPN, he started. 8 starts.
His name's Henry Martin.
His name is Henry Martin.
Did you hear? Hold on. Did you hear that? 5 goals and 3 assists in 9 games, or no, 8 games.
8 starts.
So the Columbus Crew defense is gonna have their hands full.
I mean, that's a pretty good clip to start a season. That means he's on fire. Like he's rolling into this game.
Not to mention
Columbus is
not to mention Ohio's favorite son, Sendejas, playing. Did he play for Cincinnati?
God, I don't remember. Now you're gonna make me look this kid up.
Yeah, Sendejas.
Like I want Alejandro Sendejas in my Google history. Hold on.
Well, we're gonna have to look it up.
No, he was on DC. He was on Dallas, and then he went to Guadalajara.
I'm thinking about the other.
Transferred to Chivas de Guadalajara on June 24, 2016.
I'm thinking of the other cat, of the other guy that ended up going to. I think he ended up going to Cholos, Tijuana. What's his face?
Oh God!
You talking about Cade Cow?
No, I'm talking about.
Not Zach
Togue knows who I'm talking about. U.S. men's national team forward. He kind of fell off the picture. He was like the leading scorer for Cincinnati.
Forward.
Brandon Vasquez.
Brandon Anthony Vasquez.
No, he's at Monterrey.
He moved up. That's nice.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about him for the national team. You crazy.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, so I got the wrong. Okay.
I still think you can't get out of this game without being unscathed. It's like I like 3 for Columbus, but they're giving up 2. It's going to be a tight, nasty game. It's going to be a good one. I'm like excited to watch.
You're telling me a back 3 of Morera, Camacho, and Elmanson and/or Treberco cannot hold Club America?
I mean, I would not. Dude.
Club America who's in 10th place right now.
The CONCACAF Black Magic Arts, the dark arts. Dude,
well, let me tell you this, Martin. Let me tell you this, Connor. Liga MX does not have a salary cap. If they want, to pay big money on the defender. They're gonna pay big money for someone,
Oh, are you Caleb?
If they
Porter?
want to
Well,
find
Club
out where the
America
ref
has
lives,
and they're gonna find out where the ref lives.
DPG,
They're gonna
DPGs
find
have
out where.
Caleb Porter now.
No, then they're gonna find out where
we
the
got 11
supporters.
DPs on the
Allegedly.
field, and we can't compete with Mexican teams. Yeah.
Well, we can't.
I think
No,
it's 3-2. I think
mean-
3-2. Columbus wins.
I'm with you on that, James. One last thing before we move on. I will say, from
Wait, what? Your microphone exploded.
yeah,
I haven't done my prediction. Hold on, let me go with this one.
What's yours?
Okay. So this is gonna be a physical game.
okay.
Okay. We know there's gonna be a lot of yellow cards. If it's raining, it's gonna be even worse.
Oof. I
Uh,
hope it rains.
it's gonna go to extra time.
They don't do extra time, and
No, they just go straight to
Oh,
penalties.
so penalties. Okay. Penalties. Club America.
Whoa.
I can see penalties too.
I think you were incorrect, but I respect your right for saying that.
I could see penalties too.
I mean, it could, like, it's a final. Weird stuff can happen.
Let's go rattle through these other two games real quick. But Canadian Championship is also being played. Vancouver versus Toronto. Who do you think takes it? Toronto, of course, is in 8th place in the West. I'm sorry, in the East. Versus Vancouver, which is 7th in the West.
I got a gripe with this Canadian Championship thing. You know, it's like,
why?
okay, you know why? It's like, it's Toronto FC, it's Montreal, it's Vancouver, and then it's
Ottawa Fury.
Ottawa Fury, some random,
Yeah.
so Force FC or something like that, or I don't even know. Someone from the Canadian professional.
Yeah, they after. Do you remember the big cheating scandal the Canadian Super League used to have?
No.
So I don't. Okay, so if you guys don't know this, the Canadian Super League, or I think that's what it was called. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure was not FIFA sanctioned, but it was the second division in Canada because obviously MLS is the first. Yeah. And they noticed that an extremely large amount of people known to be gangsters were making an extreme amount of money off of Canadian soccer games in the Asian countries. And so they shut the whole league down because there was league-wide match fixing.
That's how you know there's corruption, bro. If you see some like a large group of people betting on like in a 4th division team from like India, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
That's how you know.
are you
That's how
talking
you know.
about? Well, there is a top division in Canada.
There is,
Technically
yeah.
a top division. It's called the Canadian Premier League.
Ooh,
Yes, it's
Premier
new.
League.
It came from the ashes of the old league that got shut down.
In fact, I want to see some of these teams' names. I think they're all like based on the suburbs of Toronto because I'm
Probably.
serious.
So
They should have
hold on.
Hockey Stick FC.
yeah, hockey.
They got Ottawa, York, Forge. I told you this is a Forge.
Puckers SC.
Cavalry, Vancouver, and Pacific.
Newfoundland.
Well, they do. It's called the Newfoundland Wanderers.
Nice. What about Nova Scotia? Do they have a team? Anyway, hold on. We can't get in the weeds here. Let's talk about this game for 4 seconds.
4 seconds. It's Toronto 8th place versus Vancouver in 7th place in MLS.
Meaning it's the exact same fucking team playing the exact same team.
I would like to think that Toronto's
That's
better.
That's what I said. You're not going to see Valor FC facing off Toronto.
I feel like Toronto has a better organization, and Vancouver, you know, they like to ski.
Vancouver's a better team, but Toronto has some
better
Sean
city,
Johnson.
arguably.
I never bet against the milkman.
Toronto's got a lake, though.
No, you don't bet against Sean Johnson. That man's
you don't bet against Sean Johnson. Connor, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be an ugly, horrible, regular MLS game. Like it's just going to look like a regular, ugly MLS game.
It's going to smell MLS,
the last
bro.
2 Canadian Championship finals that Toronto and Vancouver have played. Take a guess on the winner of those last 2.
Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They've had their number. I think
it's at
Vancouver's a better
BC Place. It's at BC Place. There's a rule with the Canadian Championship where you have to start 3 Canadian players. Then you can start everybody else. With that being said,
Ensuring Jonathan Osorio a job from now into eternity. Anyway, go
There
ahead.
you go.
That being said,
They got
With
that
that being
Stecklenburg
said-
guy.
give me Vancouver 3-0. Stuart Armstrong hat trick.
What? No, the Italians are gonna run roughshod over Vancouver and never bet against the Milkman. That's my call. I don't have a score for you, but Toronto's winning this one. James, what do you think?
I have Toronto winning.
DPG?
I just
You
think
know
they're the
what?
better organized club. Vancouver doesn't, unless Vancouver has really made some hay with all that money when they sold Bayern boy.
Well, not to mention, didn't they get money from Columbus for Nancy?
Whoa,
That's Montreal.
That's
you
Montreal.
that's Montreal.
Oh, I mean, it's all up in Canada. Anyway, DPG, who you got? Who you got?
So, I honestly think that this is gonna be one of those games where Toronto's gonna like score a fluke goal, and then they're just gonna park the bus. But you know, you don't need to park the bus when you have the milkman. So, 1-0 Toronto. 1-0 Toronto, man.
I'm looking on DraftKings, and they don't even have Canada. They don't recognize it as a nation.
Sad.
But they do have Campeones Cup, in which Columbus Crew are the favorite team. But you can still make positive money. They're at plus 120, and Club America is at plus 205.
No, it's close.
The U.S. Open Cup, though, is a whole different story.
All right,
in
hold on.
DraftKings.
Hold on.
Negative 215 for LAFC and plus 500 for Sporting KFC.
Oh, okay. So, Sporting Kansas City. So this is the part we brought Connor on to Columbus, and now he has to sit through this because this is the part we care about. The Chicago Fire for a long time got to walk around like with big dick energy talking about Kings of the Cup, and then all of a sudden Seattle and Kansas City happened, and now we're all sitting here at 4. And Kansas City is having a horrible season. They've had a horrible run of a couple seasons. They're a bad team, but LAFC consistently chokes in finals. So it's like they have a chance here for extreme bragging rights, and especially against us in Seattle, because who else other than us 3 markets care about the U.S. Open Cup, honestly. But, like, I don't know if I could sleep well at night if they win. How do you guys feel?
Is Peter Vermes still gonna have a job?
I don't think so. He can't. It's been too many years of this.
I guarantee you.
If he loses this,
Peter
if he loses, he's
signed
out.
A contract extension a couple months ago.
wait, what?
They're
Wait, what?
stuck with him.
You know what? When I was talking about earlier about small market, teams, that they don't like to spend money. This is like the Kansas City, embodies that. Like, we don't want to spend money. We don't want to spend money. We don't want Triple G. We don't want Bruce Arena. We don't want to spend the guy money.
I thought they'd take a flyer on
Guys,
Klopas.
it's worse than you even imagined. Peter Vermes is signed through 2028.
Oh!
He signed through an entire World Cup cycle.
Yeah, hey, that man is literally oh my God.
Did he bury a hunt? Like, what happened?
No, not even that. Look, think about it this way.
He must be the best they can do, though. Because if they fire him, who are they going to get to go to Kansas City?
Well, think about it this way. Think about it this way, though. Think about it this way.
Anybody with a pulse.
This man literally is riding on like MLS Cup 2013, 2014, like when Dom Dwyer used to play for Kansas City.
Wait. Did they win an MLS Cup?
They did. Won.
Are you sure he's not just eating off of 2 U.S. Open Cups?
He won one MLS Cup like when Dom Dwyer played for Kansas City.
Which, man, did you hear him and Cindy LaRue are getting...
Yeah, they're done.
Oh, man, it's a real shame, man. Like, how do you fumble that kind of bag? Anyway, I digress. So... I don't know, man. I'm not happy about this. Like, literally, I don't even have, like, a prediction. I'm just extremely an LAFC fan tomorrow because this transgression cannot stand.
You know what?
If LAFC wins, they get back in CONCACAF.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the better team to be in CONCACAF. You don't want another crappy Sporting team in there.
Can you imagine how pissed off Jason Christ is right now? Like,
do you guys know what year Peter Vermes started with Sporting Kansas
Please
City?
tell me it's 2000.
1998, 1996.
No, hold on.
A player?
As a player?
06.
Well, okay.
06.
As a player, it was 2000 to 2002.
Okay.
Now, when did he join them as a coach, and how long has he been coaching for, essentially?
No, you know what? I think
what year?
I think Connor is right. I started caring about MLS in 06. I think Connor said 08. And I remember Peter Vermes being signed as a coach. I'm gonna side with Connor on this. 08. What do you think?
He probably started off an assistant coach, didn't he?
I don't know, man. I feel like Davey Arnaud coached him. Hold on, did Davey Arnaud coach him first?
Peter Vermes was appointed as the technical director for the Kansas City Wizards in November 2006.
Technical
director, not coach.
Not coaching.
Not coach. 2006.
He head coach in 2 years.
He was named interim coach of the Wizards on August 4th, 2009. One day after predecessor Kurt Analfo was fired by the team.
Kurt Analfo.
Ooh, wasn't he like
that name? He coached LA Galaxy and DC United.
Wasn't he like an assistant for the U.S. men's national team too?
At one point, yeah. I mean, he was in that whole Bob Bradley coaching tree.
Yep.
Or not Bob, Bruce Arena coaching tree.
Kurt Analfo coached for DC United.
Jimmy Conrad played for them. When they
Jimmy Conrad.
Wait, hold on.
So did Nick Garcia.
Well, wait, Jimmy Conrad played for them what?
When Kansas City was still the Wizards.
Oh,
he
yeah, no.
Center back for him.
I remember.
Tony Meola used to play for Kansas City too.
Only goalkeeper ever win MVP. Stars. Hold on. Tony Meola won MVP as a keeper in this league.
Wow.
And you know what else too? You know what else? He won our hearts when he was commentating.
Absolutely. And with that,
but there will never, when it comes to, I can talk about goalkeepers all night. How much time you got? I don't got much because I got to get up at 6:35 in the morning.
Oh my God, Connor, we're gonna do a tier list one of these weeks.
There will never be a goalkeeper as good in this league ever as Nick Lodolo. Never. Is that his name? Is that his name?
Do you mean Ramondo?
Ramondo?
Okay.
Oh, Nick Ramondo. I was like Nick Lodolo. I'm like, who is this guy?
James flew back. He's like, what?
Who?
Oh,
Nick
man.
Ramondo makes a lot more sense. There was no better guy taking penalty kicks.
He was a great MLS goalkeeper.
He was. I mean, there's been Stephen Fry gets no love, and he was there in Toronto when they were bad and when they started to get good. Then he went to Seattle and has been like he came into Seattle after Casey Keller retired, which big shout out to Casey Keller, big new metal fan, love it. But so I think Stephen Fry might be one of the best keepers ever in this league. He's still going.
Let us know in the comments below who you think are the best MLS keepers. We want to know.
We gotta do a tier list. We're gonna
do a tier. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna do a tier list on keepers. So watch out for that because the season is not long for this world, and we are gonna take a break.
Thanks for Chicago,
and we'll be right back.
Why you have to go there?
We're all right. We'll come
speaking
back.
of going there, take that like button. Go there with it. Just go there. Whatever it is, just go there with it. To the darkest little nether regions of your mind. Go there with the like button into the darkest little corner. And we'll see you later. We'll be right back.
He was in England.
Welcome back to the Enemies of the Fire podcast. we have just somehow cornered Konor into staying. We are going to talk about one of our favorite things here, because we consistently argue about it, is how are the Americans doing abroad, playing in overseas leagues in the world? Gentlemen, I think first and foremost, Christian Pulisic is the truth, and you all need you all need to apologize. He is one of the top 25 wingers in the world.
No.
He is world class.
No.
You guys are insane.
He's still not there.
Insane.
Okay, so he's not at the top 25 wingers in the world level yet.
Yes.
I can think of 3 guys off the top of my head that are better than Pulisic right now. Vinny Jr., Saka, Yamal. Even though Yamal is 17 years old, he's got a whole world in front of him, and he consistently puts out performances for Spain and Barcelona.
Right, but hold on. Listen, he's 17 years old. He has 3 years to he's 4 years, he's 21. He might be doing coke by then. We don't know what these people are gonna how these careers are gonna play out. You can't bet on potential.
You want to talk about another one of the best wingers in the world? I wouldn't put him as a winger because he doesn't play in that position, but Phil Foden. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, Phil Foden's very good.
I've
never
been a big Foden guy personally, but I feel you. He's not terrible. But anyway, so are we just gonna agree to disagree? DPG, does this not impress you at all? Pulisic's run of form.
It's gonna impress me at the end of the season because I want to look at his stats. Okay, 1 game doesn't mean anything.
It has not been 1 game.
He
has been on a tear since the start of the season.
He could get hurt next week, and that's it. Just done deal.
DPG, it was the most important game of their season. Here's why. Let me break it down for you.
The Milan Derby.
Milan plays in a shared stadium with Inter Milan.
Yeah,
and they were playing as the away team. This was an away win. This was absolutely huge. Christian Pulisic with a 10-minute goal. And it was just to literally spark off. And did you see the way he did it? He collected the ball and then cut through everybody like a hot knife through butter. Like there was nothing that was going to stop him.
Let's be honest. Inter Milan hasn't gotten it together for a while now. All right.
Yeah, but hold on. There are games that are always tough. That it does not matter.
I get that.
Like you're telling us a team that's near the favorites for MLS Cup is gonna have a tough time with a team in 10th in Mexico, and now you're telling us oh no, Inter nothing. You know what I mean? No,
so
it's not because now
I'm not sure DPG knows this, but the Milan Derby is the biggest derby in all of Italian football.
It's LAFC. Everybody hypes it up. Nobody cares.
You're crazy.
Fucking LA.
All right,
this is a rivalry that goes.
So it's always the Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, Real Madrid. Take your pick. Arsenal, Man City. Take your pick.
Listen, Pulisic has started and played in huge games with Chelsea against the likes of Barcelona, against the likes of Real Madrid, against the likes of some of the best teams in the world, and has shown. He came on
the Champions League final.
He doesn't do it consistently.
You're crazy.
He has a drop off in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and that's usually called when his leg gets snapped in half. He is injury prone. That's the one problem.
I'm sorry that the best players in the world. I'm sorry that the best players in the world don't turn it off when their legs give out. All right. I'm sorry that the best players in the world
Erling Haaland
are not injury prone.
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, I mean, Erling Haaland was hurt last year for a little bit of time. I mean, we're never gonna agree until the end of the season and when we come back and this show and we're talking oh man, the fire season's starting next week. Oh, by the way, AC Milan ran away with Italy. Christian Pulisic has 25 goals.
Hey, you know what? Hey, if he pulls that off, by all means, good job.
I mean, I feel as though
I'll give him his roses. I'll give him his compliments. I'm wow, Pulisic, 25 goals in Italy. Great, man. You're awesome, bro.
He's the best American soccer player. We all know.
Yeah, no.
In the season and 5 games Pulisic has been in Italy, 27 total goal contributions. Last season, 36 appearances, 12 goals, 8 assists in Serie A.
20.
This season so far, 5 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists.
Wow, 5 and 5.
5.
All right.
5 goal contributions.
Let's see the consistency. Let's see the consistency.
No, we
for the
will.
whole
We
season.
will. We will. I can't wait. Every week I'm going to needle you continually, consistently play well. But hold on. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This motherfucker right here says consistency. My guy, he was putting in a goal contribution almost every other game last season. Do you not pay attention?
How come he didn't stay in Chelsea? How come Chelsea didn't keep him?
Chelsea's a nightmare, dude. Nobody's doing well over there.
Pagasolino will never see the field for Chelsea. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth.
Ever.
Dude, they were picking Mason Mount over him. That proved to be horrible managerial choices. Has it not? James, how do you hold on, James, how do you feel about Mason Mount right now?
What's wrong with Mason Mount?
You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question?
I don't think he's seen the field this season so far.
Can I ask a question here?
They brought in Manuel Urte to fill in his spot.
Right. No, what, James? Ask or DPG, ask your question, brother.
Who was in the Champions League final last season?
Oh, I legit forget. Real Madrid, right? They're always there.
Versus who? Oh, well, it was
Man City, right?
No, Dortmund and Madrid. I've said those 5 times.
Oh, Dortmund.
Okay, yeah. What about the year before?
Man City Inter.
You get to your point.
The year before that, Liverpool, Real Madrid. The year before that, Chelsea and fucking Bayern Munich. I don't know who they fucking played.
So out of like 4 years, only 1 year has an Italian club has gone to the Champions League final.
Well, here's the thing, man. Plenty of people make a good career being the best player on a team that doesn't win a bunch of trophies. Like, okay, here you go. Everybody's favorite fucking player that I can't stand.
You know what?
But is Son a good player?
He is the face of Tottenham Hotspurs.
Right.
But is he a good player? Tottenham has him on the team is because they tapped into that big Asian
market. South Korean market. I seen that. I seen that at my kids' soccer games. Yeah. Let me ask you this though.
But he plays for a team that doesn't win shit. Is he a good player?
Okay.
Yes, thank you. All right, hold on.
All right.
James has been quiet, and I want to get him in on this. He sent a message in the group chat the other day. Okay. My man was excited. Florian Balogun scored a goal. Are we excited? Do we think this is going to kickstart this campaign for him, or what?
Absolutely.
Or is this?
It's gonna.
Can I throw something out here?
Is when he was at Stade Reims on loan, scored 20 goals that season. What has he done since he got a permanent move to Monaco? Roadblock right there.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, he finally scored on Saturday. Or was it Sunday?
Yeah, but who fucking watches the French league outside of France?
I did.
They don't even have a fucking TV
I did.
deal.
It was better than MLS. It was so much better than MLS. It blew my mind. I was like, "Oh my god!" There's concepts
this is the
here.
Same league that's sponsored by McDonald's. They don't. Last time I heard, they don't even have a TV deal in their own goddamn country.
That's kind of wild. That's what are you doing? Getting the rabbit ears out to watch Nate's or whatever?
Let's be honest here. The only team that has money is like PSG. They got freaking Jordan. Jordan under. You know.
You guys know who runs France, right?
Well,
here we go.
Yeah, no, we're not going down that path.
No. Can I ask
you know how to do it, baby.
A lot of bad choices were made.
Can I say something here though? Because I know you guys like to hype up Pulisic. I know you guys like to hype up McKinney and Balogun and all those guys. But how is that translating for the U.S. men's national team?
We'll see. Ponch is about to pick his first roster next week.
DPG, can I talk for a second here about Monaco, because that's what the question was asked, and all said like we haven't heard from James for a while. But Monaco went out and absolutely destroyed this other team. It was so fun to watch. There was some silky smooth play. The other team had a little attack there in the beginning, but they eventually fell apart. And what I really liked to watch was Flo Balogun. and seeing how he interacted with the team, how he fit into that offense's game plan was a major part of the game plan. They do all sorts of things, and he was doing all sorts of things for the game plan, whether it was coming back, receiving the ball, distributing it, or launching out and becoming a winger all of a sudden, and then being a striker in another moment, and then switching sides in the middle of it. He scored the goal from the left-hand side, even though he was a right-hand striker that day. He was just doing all sorts of great little movements, and it was fun to watch. The French Soccer League, way better than MLS too. Just like as far as the passing, the tactics, the play, it just you're watching, you're just like, oh, wow. This is why I like watching soccer. Oh yeah, I remember.
So you're telling me the French league's a little bit more fun than we should give it a try then?
Just a little bit. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying it's like MLS level is a little below Ligue 1.
Right. Well, I mean that's fair. I think we're not going to play that game of where an MLS team is going to finish.
No.
All this, that, and the other.
One topic I want to bring up is the astronomical downfall of Ricardo Pepe since he broke onto the scene a couple years ago with FC Dallas and being sold to Augsburg, then being loaned to Groningen, then back to Augsburg. And now he's at PSV, where he's sitting behind 34-year-old Luke de Jong.
Don't worry, he'll be back in MLS soon. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, I would not hate a Ricardo Pepe in MLS. I think the issue becomes, like Connor just said, he's sitting behind somebody, and they need to invest in him because he just was scoring goals for fun. They'd put him in last season. And he's just like, oh, cool, I'll score a goal. Shit, he already has 5 goals this season. Or no, that's 5 games. Sorry, he only has 1 goal.
Only the best score goals for fun. This guy was scoring goals because he was lucky.
Lucky.
He's trying to get that paid.
Luke de Jong is a homegrown player for PSV, and he's their current captain. He's been their captain since 2021 with his 5th stint at the club. I don't see Luke de Jong leaving anytime soon within the next 2 to 3 years. This man might play till he's 40. He's 34 right now.
I think Ricardo Pepe was. I get it. There was a lot of hype surrounding him when he first kind of broke into the scene, when he had that crazy MLS season. But the thing is that we're kind of starting to see what happens. Even you look at guys like Ferreira, he's still in MLS, and for a moment
that's because the MLS blocked his move to Spartak Moscow.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything. Yeah, I know, I get that.
He scored a goal over the week.
Yeah, I mean he's starting to get back into some form this season, but for about a year and a half he has done nothing, and it becomes the question. Oh, go ahead. I
didn't mean to cut you off, but I honestly think if Dallas would have sold him to Spartak Moscow, we probably would have never seen him again because he's playing in Russia. But I think the Russian Premier League would have been a good fit for him. That's his level.
Yeah, I don't pretend to know anything about Russian soccer, but
aren't they blacked out from UEFA and all that?
I mean they were. The question is they were. I've been seeing notes of people.
They still are.
Oh, they still are. Okay, because I did see somebody who I knew was playing at what is it, Lokomotiv or something? I forget.
Yeah. There's players that are still actively playing in the Russian league, but they're collecting that check because that's all you can do at this point.
Well, there's a whole political side with that, and you don't.
Interesting note though, Russia did save an American astronaut the other day. True story.
What they did, put him in prison.
No, they didn't put him in prison. No, they caught him. They delivered him to America.
It's crazy.
It's a lady.
It's
all
crazy.
Right, hold on. Let me get us back on track. Instead of lament the downfall or the improper career moves that Ricardo Pepe, let's not get it twisted, has talent. He is a professional soccer player and should find a place to play. So where is that place? Because these last couple of moves have not been it.
MLS.
You think MLS? You don't even want to give it. You don't want to go Belgium? I say whoever Kuipers came from, he should go there.
The thing is that you tried that already. You know, he went to Groningen. Now he's
that's
going
still the Eredivisie.
I mean, if you cannot make it in Groningen, if you cannot make it in Augsburg,
hold on. What's making it at Groningen? Because he played 29 games. He made 29 appearances and had 12 goals.
That's definitely playing.
He was
that's a decent season.
He was on loan that season. If a player is on loan, they pretty much have to play that player, or else they get recalled.
The thing is that it feels like Ricardo Pepe has been sitting on loan for so long.
Well, he signed with PSV.
Do you want to know what I would like to see happen?
What's that?
Ricardo Pepe's not getting any playing time. This could be a fever dream of mine, but it could work out. Wrexham has old strikers. They're either 30 or above.
Don't you talk shit about Steven Fletcher.
If they were somehow able to get a loan for a young American striker like Ricardo Pepe, if they were able to pull that off,
do you know how he will get ostracized?
Amazing.
He will not be called for the U.S. men's national team.
He's not good enough.
Of course not. I mean,
dude's not good enough for Wrexham.
Not good enough for. How's Gaga doing that Barnsley?
Hold on.
I could pull it up right now.
I thought he's doing really good at Barnsley.
I
mean,
Gaga?
He did get popped 7-0 against Chelsea or something, but
hold on.
Barnsley
is in the championship.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
Barnsley's in League One.
Yeah, I mean, am I wrong to think that League One is below a Ricardo Pepe?
Gaga's been okay.
Yeah, Gaga's been okay this season. He was bad last year.
Gaga has allowed 10 goals so far, and Barnsley currently sits at third.
And 7 of them were in 10 goals and 7 of them were in one game.
That was a League Cup game.
No, that was a League Cup game. That was not. That was
currently sitting 3 points behind Wrexham and Birmingham City. So they're they're in the first playoff spot.
Maybe Wrexham go get Gaga.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Though.
Okonkwo. I don't see Gaga starting over Okonkwo.
Whoa.
Well, wasn't he a Liverpool product?
He was an Arsenal product.
Oh, that's what it was.
They signed him on loan last season because Howard got hurt. No, Tim Howard retired.
Foster.
And the other guy got hurt. Ben Foster got hurt. Foster retired. Howard got hurt. They brought in Okonkwo on loan for the League 2 campaign, and then they permanently signed him.
That's crazy. They've made some insane moves. Like in Football Manager, be like, nah, play with one be hat.
Well, it's Connor, I've tried to make famous what I call the Jordan Morris theorem, is the happiness level of a player will mean he plays better. And so, we talk about, is Wrexham a high enough level? Well, if you get in enough on the ground floor of a project and you promote with a team and you're happy with where you are, is that a good move? And the question, but to your point, James, he's never seen the U.S. team again. If he signs for a League One team, you're not in the conversation. You're no longer in the conversation.
Going to get promoted to the championship next season.
Well, I mean, of course they are.
They're currently sitting in first with a goal differential of 8 and tied on 16 points with Birmingham City, who's in second place. So the only reason why Wrexham's in first place right now is because they've allowed. They scored one more goal than Birmingham City.
Paul Mullins, Welsh pool.
Yeah, Welsh pool.
So here's the thing, though. I mean, that's a different story. You told me Wrexham goes to the championship next year. Then at that point,
Jesus Christ, I got him started.
No. At that point, if Pepe goes to Wrexham on a championship team, then it's fair play. I honestly think he might need an opportunity in a second division team, and either in the championship, or Serie B, or even a low Serie A team, or even a mid-table German Bundesliga team. But I honestly. Yeah, go ahead.
When Esman and Busio got relegated to Serie B with Valencia a couple seasons ago, they thrived in that division. And now they're thriving in Serie A.
They got it was like going to college. They got to develop against a little lesser competition, get a little better.
Step back, 2 steps forward type of thing.
Also,
by the way,
I want to ask you guys this question. Do you I don't know how you guys feel about Aiden Morris in terms of the national team. Do you see his move to Middlesbrough as a positive for his career trajectory?
100%, especially with how it's gone so far.
And guess what? He's a regular starter.
Yeah,
He's been a regular starter since week 2.
He's 22 years old, American, regular
the
starter
fans
from
love him.
Middlesbrough.
The fans are on board with Aiden Morris.
They have a chance.
The thing is, I mean, you could say this, but the competition is a lot harder when you're going from Championship to Premier League versus Serie B to Serie A in terms of player development. Because, I mean, you go from Championship to Premier League, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna run into a brick wall.
I mean, I kind of feel like you talk about the Big 5 leagues. I almost would put the Championship on level with like that next group under it, with like the Netherlands League and the Belgium League and Turkey. I would put the Championship on that level.
Well, those leagues are kind of considered like developmental leagues. Like, Holland has historically been known as the baby crib of like Europe. Like that's where you want the best players.
When we look at the guys who have come out of that Ajax academy alone, Luke
Zlatan,
Frankie De Jong, Zlatan. Wait, Zlatan was. Hold on.
Hell yeah, Zlatan played at Ajax.
We talked about Turkey the other time. We called it the island of misfit toys.
Yeah, Turkey is the island of misfit toys for real.
Like, Mario Icardi is still there.
Ajax. That's Ibrahimovic went from Malmo to Ajax.
Yep.
Malmo is a Swedish team.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
where he started.
Man.
That's where he started.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though, is like Turkish is that kind of league that if we it's like running and gunning type of environment. There you go. That's like the Wild West right there. It's a shootout.
The Portuguese league.
Yeah,
that's
Portuguese league is a good feeder league. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I think the Championship is a great place for Americans to play, like who are younger and trying to make a name. Like I don't love seeing I wouldn't love to be like, oh well, Middlesbrough signed Nagbe. Like that wouldn't do anybody any favors. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know what? It's like the Italian league is a little different though because, there have been like historically good players that start off in Serie B and then they go to Serie A and they blow up. So I don't know if it's like the setup. I mean, so like to Conor's point, Ricardo Pepe going to Serie B wouldn't be like a bad thing. Like if he can't make it in Serie B, then hey, you might have to.
Then we know what we need to know, right?
Then we know for sure. Well, so you brought up Valencia, and I want to say big shout out to a player I actually really like. Gianluca Busio hit 100 caps for the club.
His name. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. That's what happens.
So, at the end of Jedi Robinson, probably one of the best players outside backs we've seen in a while
for America.
No, listen. When Fulham got relegated the first time around at the end of the 2021 season, who stepped up in in Fulham's record-setting championship season in 21-22? Besides Mitrovic,
a pair of Americans.
Tim Ream and Jedi Robinson.
Tim Ream and Jedi Robinson, baby.
Oh, and Alex Mitrovic, but we won't talk about him.
They raised them up. They were better than the rest. They made a Premier League quality.
Since they got promoted in that season, they've been a stable Premier League team.
A top 10, a top half Premier League team at that.
Upper mid-table.
Wow.
I mean, I've been telling these guys Jedi Robinson is one of the best left backs in the Premiership and had a best 11 season last year.
He does good because he has a decent back line. The U.S. men's national team does not have a decent back line.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Right.
Do you know how good? Hold on.
Thinking,
I was gonna say, you know how good Jedi and Dest make the center backs on U.S. look when Dest is healthy?
Dest? You mean the guy that throws elbows and punches people?
Yes, the man with a lot of passion.
The walking red card? Yeah. Yeah, let's put him on our back line. Let's cannibalize our back line by halftime.
When Dest and Jedi are on the field, the U.S. is twice the team they
Jedi
are.
Robinson gets overplayed once you put some freaking players out there.
He got dude.
This
You're so
motherfucker
mad. He
doesn't
got
watch
burned in
home
one
games.
crappy friendly, and you're so mad about it.
You guys want to know
Yeah.
what's insane? Fulham beat Newcastle 3-1
3-1.
the other day.
Yep.
Newcastle has so much money pouring into it. That's
Yeah,
insane.
Spend that money because
Just
you
like the
can't
Fire.
beat.
Jedi is a great right back or left back.
Thank you. Thank you.
This you guys are.
You guys are driving me
Probably the best
crazy.
left back we've
Didn't he
ever
just
seen.
didn't he just lose against Canada the other day?
Jedi might be a top 12 left back in the EPL.
Oh my god!
God, that's so.
Oh.
He's top 5. You're crazy.
He's
Oh
up there
my
with
God.
the Alexander
Name me-
Arnold.
name me some
He's
left
up there with the
backs.
Walkers.
He's up there with the
with-
Walkers and the Trents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Jedi?
do you not watch soccer?
He's
Do you
up there
not
with
watch soccer?
that means he's up there with Alphonso Davies.
Yes, he
Alphonso
is.
Davies
That's
is at
because he
Bayern Munich.
is.
Alphonso Davies is fighting for playing time.
Dude, Jedi. Oh my God, you guys are making me
Vincent
lose my
Company,
mind.
this motherfucker thinks Joshua Kimmich is a better left back than Alphonso Davies.
Okay, that's
Shaw is
that's
I
better
like
understandable.
Kimmich a lot,
Luke
but
Shaw's better than Jedi Robinson.
who? Joe Scally?
I
No.
want you to shut your whore mouth
Luke.
with that.
Luke Shaw. No,
Yeah, just
Oh man.
come on.
that's it. That is this.
That's
I've
like
already
saying Harry
labeled.
Maguire's a better center back than Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Oh,
fuck
well,
you
that might be
smoking?
true. That might be true. That very well is true.
Andy
But-
Robertson is a better left back.
Dude, you're fucking nuts. All right, so why don't we do this?
Zinchenko was a better left back.
No, he's not.
Oh, I wanted to bring up this last thing. Let's talk about Mount Turner, gentlemen.
Matt
Oh my God.
Turner. Yes, you're
This was
totally
my
right.
conversation last week.
Wasn't
Man,
getting
this one led to the tier list.
wasn't getting any play time, so he was sold in 2022 from New England to Arsenal.
Mhm.
Played Europa League.
Chang,
and
Chang, getting
Cup
paid over
games.
here. Sorry.
Then Arsenal brought in David Raya on loan last season from Brentford. They decided they didn't want him. Sold him to Nottingham Forest. They started him the first couple games, ended up being shit, benched him, and brought in like 6 more keepers. Then Nottingham Forest brought in 6 more keepers this transfer window. They decided so initially Forest decided we're not going to let go of Matt Turner on loan. We want to sell him. We want to get him off the books. Somebody take him. Well, eventually they caved in at the last hours of the deadline this summer, and they loaned him to Crystal Palace. Well, Matt Turner's first game with Crystal Palace was against QPR in the EFL Cup. Made the bench that game. Didn't start, made the bench. How many games has he made on the bench since?
I
No.
don't think he
Zero.
has.
0.
He hasn't made no.
No, and he's no longer the U.S. #1. I will be very disappointed in Pochettino if he starts him. Like
Who would you put over him? Schulte?
I mean, Schulte,
he's
Sean,
gonna
I
put-
mean, at this point, Sean Johnson, Gaga. I mean, even
I-
Horvath.
That guy from Miami, was it Calendar?
Yeah, Calendar. I mean,
Calendar's
anybody
overrated.
who's playing.
He
I
called
mean,
Stephen
honestly-
Fry.
Stephen. Well,
Stephen
actually,
Fry.
Stephen Fry, when he came into the league, he had a Swiss
Steve
passport.
Clark is an option.
Who is?
Who? Oh, Steve Clark. Yeah, I mean,
Steve Clark's always been pretty decent in MLS.
yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem with this.
From what I understand, from what I've seen of Mauricio Pochettino, he likes to play with a sweeper keeper. How many sweeper keepers do we have available in the poll that I can think of? Schulte? Gaga? Is Gaga a sleeper keeper?
No,
No.
Chris Brady?
no.
No.
Oh God, no.
No.
Okay.
So
So
Zach
who's your-
Steffen, baby. He
Zach
learned under the
Steffen.
tutelage of
He's not
Emerson.
a sweeper
You're gonna-
keeper.
Yeah, but he
Do
learned
do
from
I have to
Emerson.
do I have to tell you the definition of a sweeper keeper?
No, I don't want to hear
The
about
definition
Neuer.
of a sweeper keeper is a keeper who can distribute the ball and play with the ball at their feet. Who's the only current goalkeeper that does that on a regular basis from week in to week out for his club team that can do it for the national team.
Oh.
And has had pretty decent showings.
Half the MLS goalkeepers.
Calendar?
No, he's
Now
pushing
not a
for
sweeper keeper.
he's
Who?
Pushing for his
pulling.
crew boy.
Yeah, the guy from the crew, man, Schulte.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna get lit up, but that's besides the point.
I mean, is Schulte a good enough shot stopper? Because I mean, I know that he likes a sweeper keeper, but it don't matter
That's
if you
one
dribbling
thing-
a lot. If
that's
you let
one
a
thing he has improved on from our playoff run last year to this
So,
year. That is one thing.
If
he
you're
has
not a decent shot stopper, why would we call him to the national team?
well, I
You
mean,
gotta look in the couple of friendlies, and you gotta look at in the Olympics.
I'm just saying,
you got to
'cause
play
Defense didn't
somebody.
do him any
your
favor in
most
the Olympics.
your most basic attribute as a goalkeeper is shot stopping. Like if you can't get that right, you have officially become a liability.
God, that
Okay,
this whole
the modern
conversation,
day
I'm having
goalkeeper-
PTSD from the
No.
whole Sean Johnson. Oh God, who's the guy? Oh, Matt Lampson situation.
God. Don't bring that up.
The modern day goalkeeper is not much as a shot stopper anymore. Managers now, they like a player who can distribute the ball, play out the back, and use the ball at their feet. That's what 99.9% of these managers in Europe play. They build a possession from the back, starting with the goalkeeper.
That's
It
and that's
starts
how
with
they
the
how they are
goalkeeper.
and that's how the Sun ends up in the blooper reel for the EPL show. You know, a goalkeeper gives it away or does something stupid with the ball and gets scored on.
Well, I mean, that's the keeper is the most scariest position for the U.S. men's national team. So,
No
speaking
bald.
of scary,
Nobody bald.
yeah, nobody's bald. You're right. We're screwed.
It's open season for that position. So if somebody can step up, have like a stellar MLS season, congratulations. You are U.S. men's national team
Yeah,
material.
for real. All you got to do is put together 3 games, and you're in right now. So anyway, with that, I think we're gonna wrap this segment up. We are not gonna talk about how Brendon Aaronson is resurrecting a career right in front of our eyes.
Resurrection.
We're gonna take a
Last
quick
season,
break.
his career was dead.
Oh,
Scored a couple goals for Leeds.
And he's back?
He's starting.
he's back,
He's
baby.
starting regularly for Leeds now, and Leeds fans are starting to love him.
I'm gonna scare you guys. I would not be surprised if Pochettino does not start a Brendon Aaronson just to shake things up, baby.
And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Leo Messi, MLS, and maybe a little touch on the Chicago Fire before we wrap things up. Thanks for hanging out here on Enemies of the Fire. Make sure you guys grab that scarf of the enemy team, light it on fire, and throw it into the center of the pitch. Make sure you light the like button on fire along the way.
Oh man. Okay.
Say Belgium. Belgium
Well,
relies
man.
on guys from Turkey and other fucking fucked up leagues.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but what? But
England's
nothing.
Number
No,
one
but-
goalkeeper is a 30-year-old who's fighting relegation right now, and their only other 2 options plays at Southampton, and the one is a 32-year-old Nick Pope, who probably doesn't have that much time left in him. Who are England's options at goalkeeper? They're pretty thin.
The guy from Southampton.
That's
Well, I
Aaron
mean-
Ramsdale. But they got Dean Henderson too, but he's 27, 28. How long is he going to stick around?
But I mean, as long as England has a good back line, anybody could play goalkeeper.
As long as England doesn't win a final, I don't care what they do.
And England does have a good back line. Then welcome back, everybody, to Enemies of the Fire. Here we are talking a little bit about England, but I want to talk a little bit about MLS and refocus. And I'm wondering who are each of our picks to win MLS this season. I think I know Connor's. Let's get into it.
We know Connor's. Connor believes that the Columbus Crew is going to take it.
Let's make a case.
So
Also,
let me.
yeah, go ahead.
So I don't think I've ever seen a team win a championship and then pick up right where they started a couple months later. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah, it's called Seattle
It's the
Sounders.
Bulls.
Well,
I mean, there's been some teams, but it's rare,
rare.
especially in Major
It's
League
rare.
Soccer.
well,
It's
It's
Seattle
rare.
or Toronto.
you know
It's
what
Seattle or
happened?
Toronto.
No,
It used
Seattle
to be
won
Toronto.
MLS Cup in 2019. Then what happened in 2020? They got shellacked by Columbus, and then they had a major fall off. And then they won CONCACAF Champions League in 22. What did they do after they won CONCACAF Champions League? Absolutely nothing. They missed the playoffs the next 2 years in a row.
But the thing is,
that's a bad
forgetting.
example because
They're
You're forgetting. You're
they're
forgetting
kind of
the times that they were trading MLS Cup trophies with Toronto.
yeah, they're like in 15, 16. That was some
What has
fun
Toronto
years,
done?
but
What
like
has Toronto done in those years?
well, yeah,
Absolutely
Toronto.
nothing.
Toronto's
Toronto's
garbage
been a
now.
disappointment, but the whole Seattle thing has kind of been like an eclipse, right? Like it was time for them to be bad for a couple of years. You know, they had been good for 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
years. And so it was just time for them to miss the playoffs a couple times. Now, Columbus, here's my thing. I think everybody and their brother, other than Columbus fans and Cincinnati fans, are going to pick Inter Miami. And that's going to be my go-to. And I'm going to ask Connor this before
This
we move
motherfucker.
on.
Miami is shit. They don't have a defense.
They have
Messi,
64
granted,
points.
He hasn't played half the
You don't need to have a good defense when you have that much firepower.
Yeah, for real. You don't.
What have they done?
Suarez is the MVP of the league.
Suarez has to get injections.
How many goals do you think that they've scored? How many goals do you think Inter Miami has scored? They're the highest scoring goal team in the league. How many more goals do you think they have versus the next highest? I'll give you
Miami
1, 5, 10, 15.
Cincinnati has scored 52. Columbus has scored 58. Those are your top.
The closest is Galaxy, 63.
Yeah, Galaxy has 63.
Versus Inter Miami, 68. So it's 5.
Holy
difference
crap.
of 5.
Real Salt Lake has scored 60 goals this season.
Yeah, they've been on a tear.
Anyway.
The argument I'm going to make is this Miami team, I think they're frauds. Tata Martino's not a good manager. What did he do after winning MLS Cup with Atlanta United in 2018? Nothing. What did he win with Mexico? Nothing.
Dude, you couldn't win a bake sale with that Mexico team.
Congratulations. You couldn't even win the US Open Cup.
You couldn't win a board game.
You win the US Open Cup.
Let's be honest, though. Those Atlanta teams were tough.
No. Tata Martino couldn't win a U.S. Open Cup with Messi. You know who beat Miami in the U.S. Open Cup final last year? The fucking Houston Dynamo. This motherfucker let Houston Dynamo, one of the most irrelevant fucking teams in the fucking league, beat him in the U.S. Open Cup last year.
Ben Olsen's taking that team too.
Ben Olsen had that team playing well last
Better
season.
coach.
But
so
wait, so you're saying
Western Conference final.
So you talked about Messi not playing for a while. He comes back from injury and gets in the game and scores 2 goals in 4 minutes.
Yeah, but
instantly.
Congratulations. That's against fucking Philadelphia. I can score 2 goals in 4 minutes.
I honestly think I'm scared that she might beat Columbus Crew.
Well, let's be honest. I Cincinnati is ahead of the Crew, but I personally believe the Crew is the second best team in the East. Like I do think they're better than Cincinnati. Lucho Acosta is unhuman right now, which is fine.
What happened in the Eastern Conference final last year? Everybody thought that Cincinnati was going to wall up Columbus and host LA in the MLS Cup. What happened? They choked, and they choked hard.
That was a good game, though. That was a really entertaining game.
Pat Noonan was going to sub Lucho Acosta, but Lucho said no, and this man was walking on the field in extra time.
Well, I would still trust him.
After Columbus' second goal, Cincinnati was playing for penalties. They were playing for penalties. They parked the bus, they sat back, they played a back 5. They were playing for penalties. Because I think if it would have went to penalties, Cincinnati would have won that game.
So let's be honest, man. Like in a league that's supposed to have parity, we're seeing it doesn't anymore. There's haves and have nots. So
yes.
in theory, for Columbus to win a championship, they're going to have to go consecutively and beat Cincinnati.
Already done.
And then beat Miami in a one-off. Now, if everyone is healthy, I don't know what wins. Miami's firepower or Wilfred Nancy's game plan. I mean, that's
well, Miami had
That's what's in play.
firepower in the League's Cup game where we came back to win 3-2. It was 2-0 at halftime. I thought we were done. We were toast. And Wilfred Nancy, being the tactical genius that he is, made some adjustments at halftime. And it's like boom, 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 boom. Everybody's clicking. The front line is firing off shots. The Miami back line looked confused. Calendar couldn't get to everything, and Columbus wins 3-2.
I still, I don't know. It just feels like Miami's year. It just feels like it's in the cards.
Miami's year because they make the most money. Well, I would like nothing more than for Miami to get knocked out by Cincinnati or Columbus in the Eastern quarterfinals, and just to be a big fuck you to Don Garber.
Isn't this like Miami's last super team season, anyways? Because like Messi's out.
He'll be around next year. They're making a lot of plans. They're going to release. Well,
no, Messi. I don't think Suarez will be around another year.
Maybe
I still. Injury, this man's knees is dust.
Isn't his contract up at the end of the season though?
It is, but but if you look at all the marketing things that they're doing, if you look at the fact that they're getting 2 new kits instead of 1, breaking tradition in MLS next season, all signs point to Messi's coming back. Like all the ancillary things off the field are pointing towards we're running this back again.
So you think? So I know Suarez is not going to come back. I think he's done.
See, you guys are nuts. We started this podcast, and one of the first things we talked about was me telling everybody when Suarez was like, my knees don't work. I'm like, it's bullshit. He wants out of his contract. He wants to go to Miami. It's not true. Yeah. And it's still not true. Look at him. He's killing it. Like, I don't believe him.
Against MLS defenses.
I can't wait for Triple G to come into the fire and just fix it and beat Columbus, and that's it.
This motherfucker thinks Triple G, who won nothing with Columbus, is going to do something with Chicago. You guys are a fucking dumpster fire on wheels.
Damn, you had to go there.
So, as a man who lived through a Triple G managerial run,
oh, that was before me. I was too young.
Okay, fair. See,
we can talk about the national team all we want with Triple G.
Well, I mean, the national team. Listen, when picking a manager,
it's foundations to Triple G. I mean, he set the table for whoever took over after him. So
I'm Greg, Porter, Nancy.
Yeah.
I'm the one.
MLS Cup.
I'm the one out of the 3 of us who's afraid of Greg, to be perfectly honest. Now, we ran down this before we get into Greg speculation. I want to ask Jaymes and DPG, since me and you took over here, Connor. Do you guys both think it's Miami's year, or who do you guys have as winning the MLS Cup?
It's Miami's year.
Nobody's going to say anything about the Alex.
Don Garber's going to make it happen.
No LA Galaxy love or anything?
Don Garber wants a Cinderella story.
There's no way. There's no team that can stop Leo Messi and Luis Suarez.
Even the refs.
And Jordi Alba. No.
Even the refs are for Miami.
The only reason
they got the Chiefs refs.
So
Kansas City Chiefs refs.
Here's what I think.
There you go.
Miami's more than likely going to win the Supporters' Shield, right?
Yeah, they're running away with it right now.
They'll go on like Cincinnati fans and say, "Oh, we won the league. We got most points, motherfucker." The Shield doesn't matter when the playoffs start. When you get into these one-off games after the best of 3, which I still think is, when you get into these one-off games, you're going to run into like teams like Columbus, like Cincinnati, like Orlando, who have experience in these one-off games and can pick off anybody. I mean,
you're not wrong, but when you talk experience, I have a feeling a lot of those guys from Miami have experience in Champions League games, San Siro
and more intense situations, a lot more intense situations. We're talking about like Toke said, Champions League experience.
No. The only one-off game in the Champions League is the Champions League final. From the round of 16 to the semifinals, those are played over 2 legs. None of these Miami players have experience in a knockout round game and a single elimination winner-take-all situation.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Miami doesn't have a team outside of Messi, Suarez, Jordi Alba, Busquets.
Campana. You're gonna name the starting 11.
Yeah, Campana. the goalkeeper.
Calendar.
And,
Yeah, they've got a
and then
strong team.
What about Julian Gressel?
Oh yeah, they traded for Julian Gressel.
Mo Farsi played him out of a starting spot last season.
I mean,
who did?
Mo Farsi.
Weren't they hyping up Kermansky too?
Dude, listen, this is a good Miami team. There's a reason they have 64 points and Messi didn't play for a month and a half.
The problem is with Miami, they play like they're individuals. They play like they're individuals.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Cucho Hernandez is better than Messi and Suarez?
Yes. Messi's the greatest player of all time. Congrats. He won a World Cup. Probably Argentina will probably never win another World Cup.
Stat-wise right now.
But the problem with I can talk about Argentina. The problem with Argentina is the same problem that Miami has right now. They're relying on older guys. They're not preparing the next generation to take the mantle after these guys retire.
Dude, Miami is going to be like the Marlins. They want to win their championship, and then they're going to dismantle into nothingness.
That's what I was thinking of that. If Miami wins this season, that's it. They're all leaving.
Here's the crazy thing.
Connor, without looking it up, do you know how many appearances Cucho has for Colombia? Since 2018. Since 2018.
Senior call-ups?
Yes.
It's got to be like 2 or 3.
4 call-ups. So what's going on with Cucho that he's not getting called up?
I mean, they got John Durant playing striker, and they got Luis
John
Diaz
Durant, ex-Chicago Fire player?
Yeah. They're not so much of a dumpster fire anymore. No.
He's playing in Premier League while Cucho's still in MLS. That's interesting, too.
Well, how old is Cucho?
Cucho's 25.
Dude, Jordan Morris theorem. Cucho's comfortable. He's happy. He's scoring goals. He's getting women. Life
Jordan
is good.
Morris.
Joseph Martinez theory.
Here. I got one. Jordan Morris could have been Christian Pulisic before Christian Pulisic had he gone to Europe.
Maybe, or he could have went to Europe and been like, I hate this, and knocked up like 6 different women and had a drug problem. You never know. You could play what ifs
we're
all day long.
We're gonna be in the what ifs, but like I'll never forget that interview that I told you with Jermaine Jones. Or was it Jermaine Jones that told him?
Listen, Jermaine Jones, I love Jermaine Jones. Let's not get it twisted. I disagree with Jermaine Jones about Jordan Morris. He didn't stay home because he missed his dog, but I feel him with his argument.
We got a dog.
But when you look at the Columbus team sheet, how many players have revitalized their career since joining Columbus, say 2020? How many players on that team sheet? Because I can name 3 or 4 different players who have revitalized their careers.
Well, that whole back line is all like also rans that are starting to play better, right? Am I wrong on that?
Steven Moreira got relegated the season before he joined Columbus. Now he's one of the top players.
Wait, Derek Jones?
He joined this year.
So I mean, are you getting this whole? So are you getting hyped up about Columbus beating Miami or Columbus?
We can beat Miami. It's the problem. The problem is Messi. Anytime Miami plays Columbus, Messi's nowhere to be seen. He's either injured or on international duty.
Well,
I get that, but he's probably going to be there in the playoffs. Now that
Let me ask a really.
There's an international break in November, though.
Yeah, but what
if Argentina calls them up during the playoffs?
I mean, I don't like it doesn't mean anything. Well, or those were qualifiers.
Dude, Columbus is so deep. They have Christian Ramirez.
Yeah, Christian Ramirez, good player, man. Like, so I have a thought because we have spent so much time talking about the East because we know more about it. But let's be fair. All the best teams are in the East. The top 6 teams, even Charlotte, I think are better than second place Real Salt Lake in the West.
Yeah.
So my question is this: does the Eastern Conference teams, no matter who it is, Miami, Cincinnati, or Columbus, do they beat the hell out of each other so much that by the time they get to MLS Cup, the Galaxy walks over the winner?
I mean, everybody thought LAFC was going to run over Columbus last year.
You're not wrong. I did believe that very strongly.
Yeah.
but I mean,
I think the East is good enough to compete with these Western Conference teams because Columbus has beaten the Western Conference teams before. They've beaten Real Salt Lake. They've beaten the Galaxy. They've beaten LAFC. They've beaten.
Well,
So do you think?
have they
Seattle.
beat dude? Are we? Hold on. I'm gonna eat some crow because we've for a couple weeks in a row we talked a lot of shit about Reggie Cannon, and Reggie Cannon scored this week for Colorado in his debut. So I'm gonna eat crow on that. But
I don't see Colorado getting far though.
dude, they're in the third
In the
place
playoffs.
in the
I
West.
don't see them getting
Colorado.
far in the playoffs.
Dude,
But-
what if Zach Steffen gets hot?
All right, so I wanted to pose this question to you guys because it's 10 minutes till midnight.
Yeah, let's do it.
Out of using your outside looking in lens, would you say Columbus has one of the best front threes in the league? They got Rossi, Ramirez, and Cucho.
Oh,
Would you say that's one of the
100%.
best front threes in the
No
league?
question that. Yeah.
So what's with all the hate then?
Oh, it's no hate.
It's all hate. I think Columbus is gonna get taken apart by Miami with a Messi included lineup of Miami. I just think that you piss off Messi enough, he's gonna find a way to beat you. And
Yeah, I mean, Miami. That's the thing is Miami just finds a way. They have not played poorly. They are a good team. Like there was a lot of talk about like, oh, they're overrated. Oh, they're gonna fall apart, and they have not.
You keep forgetting that all those guys played with each other back when they used to play together in Barcelona.
Well, that's
one thing that Miami couldn't do with Messi was beat Monterrey. You know who beat Monterrey? Columbus.
we're not going to play the transitive properties
Yeah.
because when you do that, like Oman is the World Cup champions. Like we're not doing transitive.
This will really happen. Miami beat the crap out of Monterrey, even though Monterrey won. So when Monterrey came deflated and exhausted and faced Columbus just walked right through.
Monterrey beat Miami on away goals, or they outright beat them. I don't know. I still think the away goal rule is the dumbest rule, and they should just get away with it and go to straight aggregate.
There's some silliness with it.
No,
the away goal rule is dumb.
No,
I think that there is some silliness with it too.
Much math involved.
I got RSL versus LAFC penciled in as my Western Conference final.
Interesting.
RSL versus LAFC.
I mean,
and for my Eastern Conference final, I have Columbus versus Miami.
You got to. I mean, here's the thing. Columbus has to finish ahead of Cincy for that to happen. Because if they don't, then Columbus has to go through Cincy before they hit Miami.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, they're right there with Cincinnati, though. I think they're
with a game in hand.
Behind.
Columbus does have a game in hand on Cincy.
Yeah, they're tied with Cincinnati, 56 points each.
Yeah, with a game in hand, so they could very well pass up Cincy. But if they don't finish, like you got to think, because if they don't finish second, you might be seeing Miami before Cincy or vice versa. But
yeah, I'm not worried.
We're talking about the playoffs. Oh, go ahead.
When you look at a complete team on paper in terms of position and depth, I think Columbus takes the cake for that. Because they have a deep bench. They have Max Arston, who's probably one of the best converted wingbacks in the league. Mo Farsi, one of the best wingbacks in the league. The best striker in the league, in Cucho Hernandez. One of the best supporting cast in Diego Rossi in the league. One of the best veterans in the league. The best midfielder in the league in Darlington Nagbe. And they got one of the better young goalkeepers in the league too, in Patrick Schulte. And then they got guys on the bench like Jason Russell-Rowe who can come in and make an impact off the bench. So in terms of squad depth and squad as a whole, Columbus is one of the best teams in the league. Like you can make two different starting 11s just out of Columbus's depth alone, and you can still make a competitive starting 11 out of that.
Which is funny because this is MLS and it's going to be NYCFC and New York Red Bulls final. Anyway, we talked a lot about
MLS. Yeah.
MLS going to MLS. So we talked a lot about the playoffs. A team that will not make the playoffs and could very well be eliminated this week is our own very own Chicago Fire.
Well, this is where I get.
Thank you for joining us, Connor.
Yeah, it's 5 till midnight, so I gotta go. I'm hungry.
Cool.
And
All right, brother.
All right, good
Peace
night,
out,
man.
Connor. Thank you for joining us.
Real quick, I'm gonna plug my own shit. Don't know when this is coming out, but I will be doing a live stream for. Okay, so by the time you're watching this, I'm doing a live stream for the Campeones Cup. Ohio State plays at the same time on Saturday as the Crew. Not doing that. Doing the Miami game in a couple weeks, and yeah, so it should be fun. But
Connor knows soccer. That's tell him the channel. Connor knows soccer.
Right here. Connor knows soccer. Podcast should be starting up next month. I'm just waiting on a couple responses, and I'm going to do a new reaction series where I react to obscure leagues around the world. One I'm very excited to do is reacting to the Indian Super League. So I'm actually pretty excited to.
That sounds awesome.
Do that. I think I got the Indian Super League, Serie B, the German 3 League at the 3rd division.
Puerto Rico? Any of the island leagues in the Caribbean?
Trinidad and Tobago?
No.
Love me some Port Harbor, man. So that's Jamaica, I think.
I always thought that Puerto Rico would be a fun place to watch a soccer game.
Anyways, I'm going to dip. It is 4 minutes till midnight.
Right. Good night,
I'll let
man.
you guys talk about your dumpster fire of an organization.
Thank
Unintended.
you. Thank you.
All right. Peace
Later.
out.
Peace.
Thanks. Later.
Peace out.
All right,
let's wrap this up real quick here. But
yeah, I know Jaymes had a lot on Frank Klopas-Ball, but honestly, like, here's the only story: we have yet to sign Gregg Berhalter.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We have yet to get Gregg Berhalter,
and in fact, he might be having dalliances with other teams.
Yeah,
I heard multiple teams are looking at him and talking to him. He has interviewed, supposedly him and Bruce Arena and everybody else interviewed with San Jose.
You better wrangle that cattle before he gets away from the livestock shelter.
You know what's worse than having Gregg Berhalter is losing out on Gregg Berhalter.
Imagine he goes to San Jose.
Oh, so crushing.
Or anyway, imagine he goes to Seattle. Or
imagine. My theory is this: the man just bought a mansion for like whatever $1 million amount it was. He has family here and everything. I mean,
he bought a mansion in Illinois.
In Chicago.
Why would you do that?
Oh, did he get Casper's old house?
Oh wow.
I don't know. And he actually lives in a Lakeview area, I think.
Okay. So I can go terrorize him if I wanted to.
Yeah. So here's the thing though, like if the man bought a house here in Chicago, knowing how taxes are and all that stuff is, he wants to stay here. Clearly. So what better way to kind of signify that or make
what better way to stay somewhere than get a job there?
Exactly. You're only going to travel for the away games. It ain't like you live out in San Jose and then you have to like fly back and forth between Chicago and San Jose to see your kids.
Until it's done, I'm still nervous.
It needs to get done. It needs to get done so it can save us from this Frank Ball, because Frank Ball is anything but attacking the middle of the field. It's nothing but it's like on Football Manager, he just sets it to early crosses, mixed cross. It's just crosses. There's no play through the middle. There's no the plays through the sides, and it's crosses. Just crosses up crosses.
Not there anymore.
With one target, and he's not even a huge header guy.
Watch all of the highlights of Chicago Fire this entire season if you want a fast version of it, but basically you will see the majority of the Chicago Fire shots come from these crosses, and they're not great shots. They're half chances half the time. Meanwhile, when you're watching that same video, you watch how many times the other team attacks through the middle of the park, not only through the midfield part of the park, but through towards the penalty part of the goal. When you're at the top of the 20-yard box, basically, the Fire are never taking shots or trying to get to those areas so they can take shots ever. It's always cross. It's like there's just like a force field in front of the penalty area of every single soccer team they've played this year, bar none, almost. I remember one goal that Guti scored where he drove that area, which I'm talking about, that he did that one time.
That was literally the first goal of the season.
It was the first goal of the season, and we have not seen it since.
It's like they forget how to play soccer once it gets to that final third. Like
I don't know, but we have Tom Barlow. We don't know how to play in the final third. Like,
oh my god,
dude,
Tom Barlow. Oh man,
it's hard to say anything about
this
team.
I'm gonna put that guy up right next to what's the guy's name? Harrington.
David Arshakin.
Dan Harrington.
They're even better. David Arshakin. Nothing says the Chicago Fire like
Michael
David Arshakin. Michael Harrington.
Don't besmirch the name about Michael Harrington. That's my wife's favorite
Michael
player.
Harrington. I tell you what, Michael Harrington may not be the best soccer player on the planet, but he damn sure has a ride or die wife. And
on
you
top
gotta
of
respect that.
He was a ride or die for Chicago. Dude was overmatched every week, but he tried his hardest.
I am unironically a huge Michael Harrington fan. Like, I was a fan when he was at Portland. And I was so happy when we signed him.
I like Michael Harrington. I'm a big fan of Michael Harrington.
He was trash when
oh
to
man.
me, at least what I saw in the field was trash. Like,
he's my wife's favorite Fire player.
Was it the man bun?
It's the man bun. That's what she calls him. She's like, "What happened to man bun?" And I told him like he wasn't. He wasn't
long for this world when he came to Chicago and gave all his best years to Portland.
But he worked so hard. He was such a hard worker. He set such a great example. Yes, his talent was behind him in those years that he got to us, but still, I thought Michael Harrington was he put out an amazing effort in the jersey. He never quit. Never quit.
No,
he was a Dilly Duca, but that's besides the point.
Oh man, dude, we have had a cavalcade of could have beens.
Kennedy Ebonanike.
Oh man.
Ebonanike.
Oh god.
Kennedy.
Those were the times when I would fall for it. When the Fire would be like, "Oh, they're signing a guy I never heard of. He must be good."
New season of FIFA. Let's go.
Like Ricardo.
Oh god. Dude. Oh my god. This team, it's so hard to talk about or be excited about because there is so much that could be very exciting. We have 2 open DP slots. Supposedly Gaston and Menes is out of contract. We have a keeper.
I hope half this defense is out of contract based upon what I saw. Salquist, Suke, and Olmsberg can all go. And I don't know if any of the technical directors have watched any of these past few games, but all 3 of the dudes are shit. And also these are Frank's tactics. 3 in the back line, absolutely awful. Olmsberg and Salquist don't know shit from Shinola. Meanwhile, Suke is getting bossed every other play. Every other play. He lost the Nashville game. He was the reason for the first goal in the game for Montreal. This whole back line is awful. When they play with Turan, they got to win. The game before that, they lost. Turan's not that great either. Turan might be the best of what's there, but it is awful. And also, these are Frank's tactics. Also, Chris Brady, if he's a Fabergé egg, that egg is broken. That egg is broken. That egg is breaking and cracking before our very eyes. That kid had potential.
Say that about a keeper
they're
until
destroying
they're
him right now.
So here's the thing though, is
his confidence.
Depending who we get as a head coach, we have to keep this in mind. And I know Toke, you want results now. You want to be like the 2016 Cubs. Just give up your whole farm system for results.
Just one. Just you do just.
Yeah.
1 year,
Yeah.
but like,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Next year, you don't want to hear this. Next year is going to be a transitional period.
It's been a transitional period since 2017.
yeah, no, listen. Hold on, DPG. When you sign a DP, especially in our current situation, they cannot be, I don't know, man, let's see if this guy plays well. No, it's got to be good players, which means we have we are forced to have to sign quote-unquote quality good players this offseason. We can't even, get around that. We're technically have to, which means they should be ready to go minute one, which means that really the first month and a half should be ugly while they all get used to playing with each other. But there should be no reason to miss the playoffs. And even that makes me mad because honestly, we have sat so long. We have given them so much time to incrementally get better that there's no more we made the playoffs. You might as well win the wooden spoon, dude. You got be the best fucking team in the league.
The best thing that we could hope for next season, based on the situation we're in now, or we've been in for a while, especially with our former or soon to be former GM, we should be striving for at least a playoff spot next season.
No, listen, it's an
We haven't
abject
made one
failure.
since 2017.
It's been it will be
I get it.
failure.
I get it, but you're hyping yourself up, knowing that next year is going to be a transitional period.
Hold on. We have Chris Brady in the back. We have Aragoni on the wing. We have Kellen Acosta in the center, and we have Hugo Kuiper scoring goals. And then you add. Then you add.
Aragoni is alone.
He'll be back. Then you add two more DPs to that. There should be, if we are lower than fourth in the East next year, it's an abject failure with a new coach, two DPs.
No, yes. This is why I say this. This is why I say it's not. Because first of all, whoever takes over, whether it's Triple G or I don't care if it's a Bruce Arena, they got to replace a lot of guys. They're gonna clean house, and you got to put bodies there, and at the same time. You're not going to get all your guys because some of the guys are on this team now, their contract is not up till the end of next season. So you're still going through the motions until at the end of next season.
Sell them for a loss.
I wish it was that easy, but at the same time, look what happened with Shaq. We couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah, because we were looking for money for him. Look, we have to sell these guys at a loss. Gaston Jimenez has been linked to Boca Juniors for 9 years. Then that means lower the number.
Gaston Jimenez is like you said, money laundering. This man has had his contract status changed so many times, and his contract date extended so many times. It would not shock me if the man is still here in 2031.
If he is here next year, I'm gonna scream. I'm just gonna
He might be here next year. At this point,
he what?
He might be here.
I mean,
why?
Honestly, another thing too is we need to get an attacking midfielder. I get that people are hyped up on Brian Gutierrez, but he is not the one.
No, if we got two solid wingers, he would develop in the center attacking midfield.
No. We played that wing game, and it hasn't worked out for us.
No, we have to sign different wingers.
Brian Gutierrez under Gregg Berhalter's tutelage might be able to develop.
We need a playmaker.
The one good thing about Triple G is he's going to play a 4-3-3. That's going to make me happy because you know what I say about 3 in the back. 3 in the back actually means 6 in the back.
Yeah.
And you have no offense.
Pretty much. And the thing is that we got to play the ball down the middle. We don't play we literally throw it to the wings and hope for magic. We can't do that anymore. Teams have figured us out. Oh my God, don't worry. They're going to cross it. Just triple team that guy. And that's it.
Well, hold on. I'm going to say something crazy. Okay. So don't be mad, but let's think of him as not as the man I'm saying, but think of him as a template, but think just how good that midfield of Gutierrez and Acosta would be if you plunked Yunis Musah in the middle there. The three of them would pass the ball around anybody. And now that Yunis Musah has so much more potential, that'll never happen. It's not like he's 25 and like failing.
If you can get a Yunis Musah player that's MLS quality,
a Yunis Musah template.
Yeah,
like, we just had Konor on. We just had Konor on. Think about Darlington Nagbe next to Acosta.
I mean, that's gonna look like Yunis Musah national team midfield from 4 years ago.
I mean, they'll still pass the ball around. They'll still pass the ball around to MLS defense.
More importantly, the fact that we're going up on top with 3 strikers or 2 strikers or whatever, a false 9 or whatever they're going to do with the 4-4-3, it really helps Kuipers because now you're going to give the man assistance. You're going to give him help. You're going to have someone that could pull away guys from him so he can do his magic. So, yes, that's my biggest thing is the fact that we're getting away from the single striker up on top. And we're going into a more rotating system because honestly, let's just throw Kuipers by himself up there. He's going to figure it out. It ain't working.
No, he can't do it all by himself. I mean,
it sucks because you can see the man trying. You can see the man try and do those runs.
Let's mention this, okay? Going into this week where we played 2 road games, we lost them both, right? We were firmly like 3 points out of a playoff spot going into this week.
Yep.
And not only did we shit the bed, but Hugo Kuipers, his wife gave birth, so he wasn't even there. And like,
where was Aragoni?
This team could have saved the season from the jaws of just bullshit, and just nobody cared.
But you know what?
Nobody cared.
But you know what too is, again, I'm really hoping like Triple G takes charge of this club because it's different tactics, but at the same time, you kind of have to imagine who's going to come off the bench. Like, that's another factor that factors in. Like, we can't just keep having Fabian Herbers come off the bench and somehow work magic. Like, I think the Fabian Herbers experiment is done. Like,
well,
at what point is it done, right?
Well, I mean, Fabian Herbers would be fine if he's like 4th on the depth chart in the center of midfield, man.
There you go. Yeah.
Like that's the kind of player you want in that spot. That's like a deep team, because the thing is, Barlow and Koutsias has got to go. You got to get rid of both of them, and you got to sign Amari to a deal. But then you got to also get a guy. Amari can't be the first guy off the bench. You got to get another guy, a guy you should have signed instead of Barlow.
But here's the thing: didn't Tusu mention that Bobasi?
I would love Jeremy Abobasi over Tom Barlow. Oh my God!
I think Abobasi will be starting. He wouldn't even be on the bench. He'll be starting
over Kuipers.
No, we're playing more than one striker up top.
Well, under Klopas, but we're not going to under Gregg.
We're not going to go under Gregg. It's going to be like a
single striker. Yeah, it's going to be 4-3-3. He's going to have 2 wingers flanking the striker.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know, man. This team. I said there was nothing to say about this team, and then we complained for 10 minutes.
And now we're going on hour and 40-minute podcast plus.
It was a beautiful show.
But it was a beautiful show.
It was.
It was so fun having Konor around, and everybody, we love you. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. Punt the like button. I'll let James go into a spiel in a second, but just thank you. This has been a good year so far, man. And
grab that like button by the crest, and just
there you go.
Yes. All right. So, hey, is everybody? What are we doing? Are we going to Bridgeview this weekend?
No, I'm out. I freaking get I traded in all my tickets for a game out in.
My St. Louis trip got canceled, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go camping or if I'm going to go to the game.
Ooh.
So
I'm not entirely too sure, but
anyway,
I might be having a delightful time with the wife.
All right. Well, we'll see if we see you at Bridgeview, everybody.
All right, everybody.
Peace.
See you guys later. Have a great one.
Peace.
James, what if they were so inclined? Should they do with the like button?
This time, probably pick it up in your hands. Don't worry. Play stopped. We talked to the ref. The ref blew his whistle. He's waiting on you. Inspect the ball. Dust it off. Get that blade of grass right. Set the ball down. Go into your zen zone. look the goalkeeper dead in the eyes, like you fucked his mother. Back the ball, back up, and even though it's your son you're shooting on, bury that ball into the upper 90. And make sure you hit that like button along the way and be right back here on Enemies of the Fire.